Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Mufasa, the Lion King, and I'm doing this super late. Normally I do this like right after midnight when these premieres come, but I was tired last night, and so I decided I am just going to try it later, and it kept getting later and later, and well, here we are, and I'm going to have it up in just a few moments after I finish this. Mufasa, it's brand new to Disney Plus as of today, so you probably got a chance to watch it before I did, if you got to it this afternoon. This is the prequel to the original Lion King, live action, the digitally animated. It's fully digitally animated. But it's treated as live action because it wasn't hand drawn 2D style. I'm not really sure how to describe it. I'm not going to ruin any of the plot points for you. I'm just going to give you the basic structure of what it's about. So, no spoilers, but you can pretty much tell what it's about. It's about Mufasa. It's about the father of Simba. And and the reason why I said it was a prequel sequel is that it takes place both after The Lion King and before The Lion King. As just sort of a framing structure in this. Basically, we get to see Simba and Nala again, played by Donald Glover and Beyonce. Yep, we get the two of them. Basically, Nala's off somewhere, and Simba's got to go find her. And so they have to leave their kid behind, Kiara. And what's the Kiara? Yeah, Kiara. And we're not giving really much explanation, neither is Kiara, but she is left to the babysitters. You know who that's going to be. It's going to be Timon and Pumbaa. Yeah, Timon and Pumbaa, played by Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen. Just the comic relief. But they get a little bit of help with Rafiki, and in this, Rafiki is the one who gives us the story that we're going to watch in the film. Obviously, it's from 2024. It is 2 hours and 4 minutes long, and the biggest core of the film is Rafiki basically telling Kiara the story. By the way, Kiara is played by Blue Ivy Carter, the daughter of Beyonce Carter. So just in case you were curious, it says introducing Blue Ivy Carter, so this might be her first role. I don't know. But we get a story that sets up where Mufasa came from, and why is he the Lion King? Why not Scar? We get some backstory on Scar as well. And of course, we have to have a bad guy. And without going into too much detail, that main bad guy, which is not Scar, is played by Mads Mikkelsen, who, honestly, the man's played Hannibal Lecter. You put not even his face, but his voice in anything, and he comes off pretty scary. He comes off as a pretty scary guy. So, yeah, this is actually just, if there's nothing else, whether you love it or hate the film, that it even exists, or that it just didn't live up to your Lion King passion, sensibilities, you can't deny that there's some great voice casting in this. Beyond, the characters we already knew, with, Timon and Pumbaa and Simba and Nala, with Rafiki and so many others, we get to see some other lions played by Lenny James. You know him from Fear the Walking Dead and a few other things. But I know him personally from Fear the Walking Dead, and he had an American accent in that. He's really English, and he's also he's distinctive in his voice, and he's always so good. Tandy Newton, she spells her name differently, her original spelling, and I never know if I'm pronouncing it right, but Tandy Newton. Gosh, there's so many different things. The last thing I remember seeing her in is Westworld. You would not recognize her. There's a new Zazu because John Oliver has pretty much ticked off Disney enough, making fun of his role in the first Lion King remake. So, yeah. it's just a lot. It's a fantastic cast. There's music too. It is a musical. There's not a song that super jumped out at me other than "Bye Bye," which I'm assuming is Mads Mikkelsen singing. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of undercuts that whole serial killer vibe that he had in, you know, Hannibal. But yeah, and yeah, there's music throughout this. It has. I don't imagine they're going to make a musical out of this, but it's good. It moves the story along. It has it has a more modern sensibility, I think, to it, rather than honestly, all the classic Renaissance era Disney films tend to have a certain feel to them because they were all made by the same people. And it was the 90s, 89 to 90s, pretty much. These days it's a different set of composers and performers. It's not that the songs are bad or anything. They didn't catch on with me, and maybe if I heard it again, I would, totally get into it, but it doesn't really do anything for me. The music for me just sort of was a necessary thing because it's a Lion King prequel. So why is Timon and Pumbaa in this? Well, yeah, they every once in a while, as Rafiki's telling the story, they cut back to them, and it's them just sort of giving their own little commentary, breaking up some of the more intense, more dramatic moments. It doesn't cut into them in the middle of them. It's not like Deadpool's breaking the fourth wall kind of thing. It is just for funnies. It is literally just when there's a breather that can be taken from an intense moment. Well, you get the guys just busting up, making silly comments, and it's providing the levity that you can kind of expect from these guys if they're going to be in the film at all. And yeah, they could have done without a whole framing sequence, but without spoiling the end or anything, the framing sequence is kind of necessary, as this story is not just obviously told to Kiara, but it's told to us hopefully with the same kind of understanding as to why our family is important, why her family is important, and what's passed down through the generations lives on in each of us. And by the way, at the very beginning, this isn't really a spoiler at all because it's not a story spoiler. We get to hear James Earl Jones's voice as a dedication to the original Mufasa. So that's a little goose pimply kind of moment there. You get to hear him speak as Mufasa. So yeah, it's while nothing's really ever going to compare to the original Lion King for so many of us, it's just it's never going to be expected that it's going to be, oh my gosh, we've just transcended what it's meant to be, because again, expectations, rational or not, are always going to get in the way. It's just the way it is. And so I think you can enjoy this. There's plenty of action. There's plenty of humor. There's lots of heartfelt moments here. There is love and loss, and again, you get to see a very young Mufasa and his brother. I'm not spoiling anything on that. You know who his brother is, Lion King fans. But yeah, he's not exactly who you think he is at the beginning. He isn't. Well, you do, but he isn't. He wasn't always a bad guy. And there's plenty of callbacks, or technically call forwards, to that brotherly interaction from the original Lion King film. At least two other moments reflect the final moments of Mufasa's life in the original Lion King. At least two specific moments are just blatantly mimicked, or blatantly called forward to those moments about decisions being made. And yeah, So it is, there's lots of secrets to be held, and it looks gorgeous. I think my monitor that I was watching it on could have watched it on a better resolution thing. And I think if you have a 4K television, and if this is in 4K, there's some things that are, and I guess some that aren't. But imagine if you watch this in 4K and you have a really good feed. It'll look a lot better for you. There were just moments early on in the film for me where it looked really garbled, and I have a really good internet connection. So I don't know. It's not the fault of the movie. It's me. So it's my system. So you get a great voice cast. You get action, humor, romance, and you get the underpinnings of all the conflicts you see borne out in the original Lion King. Why is there a break between these brothers? And are they brothers? And you get to see so much else as well when it comes to the formation of the land in which the original Lion King takes place. You'll recognize a number of locations, or at least specifically a location. So I say definitely, if you're a Lion King fan, while it may never live up to your expectations, because I know how it is with being obsessive about certain things, or certain Marvel or Star Wars people who are the same way. A lot of people are the same with Disney animation. And was a prequel sequel entirely necessary? No, but was it an IP they already owned and could facilitate more box office revenue from? Absolutely. That's just the way it's going to work with Disney or any studio that has an IP they can build off of. And it's really well done. By the way, I need to... Aaron Pierre plays Mufasa, and Kelvin Harrison Jr. plays Taka. That name is important, so if you don't already know. So, by the way, it does... it's kind of great that they... I don't remember if Kiara... For some reason, my brain is not firing on the idea that Kiara was a character in the original Lion King, like at the end or something. Like, oh, they have a kid now, and I think they had a kid, and doing the thing, but she wasn't a character here. And then I think in the sequels, like the direct-to-video sequels that they brought out eventually, Kiara was a character there. Or was he his son? I don't remember. I don't recall. I've seen them all, but I don't remember offhand. I'm sure you Lion King nerds can tell me in the comments. But beyond that, this is just, it looks good, and definitely check it out if you're into this kind of thing. I didn't see it in theaters myself. It was just a busy Christmas. I don't know, traveling. All right, so that's that. I picked number 116 yesterday. I can't show it to you right here, but it was L Pop, because everything got arranged. So L Pop is what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.